Hi guys, it's me Terry of the Yarnjoy podcast. Welcome to the second installment of our fall graph along. In this tutorial, we are going to be using the second graph in this project, which is the owl graph. And if you check in the description box below this video, I will have the information posted for you where you can get these graphs, so then they're free and you can get them and print them off, and that way you can work along with me. Okay, and this is a corner to corner stitch project, and if you're not that familiar with the corner to corner stitch project, I encourage you to check out my tutorial, my basic tutorial that I did showing you how to do the corner to corner stitch without changing any colors or anything, and I will link that in the description box below as well. Now, the first graph that we did in this series was the pumpkin graph, and that actually is, I recommend if you're a beginner to do that graph first, because it's less detailed, doesn't have as many color changes, and also with the tutorial I go with you more step by step throughout the whole entire graph to complete it. With this one, I am assuming that you know the stitch and that you've worked through the pumpkin graph, as well as, first follow the corner to corner tutorial for the basic stitch if you didn't know it already, and that you've gone through the pumpkin graph as well. So for this one, I'm going to work some of the rows along with you, and then I'm going to have you work on more of the rows on your own. Okay, so for this graph, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarn in worsted weight, and I'm using, again, the F hook. You want to use the same hook and the same yarn as you did for the pumpkin graph and throughout this project, okay, so your pieces will fit together. Okay, so I'm using the worsted weight Red Heart Super Saver. I'm using an F hook, like I said, 3.75 millimeter. I have a pair of scissors and a pencil and my graph. And then for the colors, now you can pick out any colors that you want. This is just the colors that I've picked to use for this project. So you can pick any coordinating colors that you want to fit with your decor, or what you want for your fall, to go with your fall decorations, okay? But the colors I have picked is the background color. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in the light purple, I think it's called. I don't have the ball band anymore, but it's light purple, I believe. And then the brown, I'm using the Cafe Latte Red Heart Super Saver. I will probably need more of this, but I have a full skein right here. So this is just to get me started. And then I'm using gold, Red Heart Super Saver Gold for my yellow. And I'm using an unknown orange that had in my stash that I'm trying to use up, and this is only just for the feet and the beak. And Red Heart Super Saver White and Red Heart Super Saver Black, okay? And let's see, I'm also using these bobbins I talked about in the first in the pumpkin square, and these are some jumbo plastic clothespins that I bought at Dollar Tree, 6-pack for $1, and I am using those for my bobbins, okay? But you don't have to do that. You can use just a ball of yarn, and if you want to help me, if you're using all yarn balls, it may be helpful to have a bobby pin or something that you can clamp on the ball when you're not using it, or when you're going to flip the colors, flip your work over, because we do work it on both sides. And all you need to do is you can do that to kind of help secure your yarn, so then it won't, when you're flipping your work over, that may help you to not have the balls go everywhere and make a more tangled mess than necessary. Okay, let's see. I think that is all the information I need preliminary. So let's get started. Okay, so for the and on this graph, let me just mention that this graph, the program that I use to construct this graph is called is from stitchfiddle.com, and the numbers on these graphs, I'm just learning how to use the program, so the numbers on here, I didn't know how to take the numbers off. I don't usually use numbers when I'm reading charts. I just mark all, I use my pencil and I just mark my progress, working in a back and forth motion. And so these numbers here, I guess I may use the numbers for reference points as far as where to stop and when to start, when you're working on your own versus when we're going to work together. But ordinarily I don't use the numbers, and like I said, I don't know why. I'm going to start in this corner here, and I don't know why the 1 wasn't over here. Because in the pumpkin square the ones was in starting numbers was at this corner. This one is not. So anyway, that's explanation for those numbers. And if you're using the right-handed version, those numbers may be backwards, but because I'm normally left-handed, but for the right-handed version, they will probably appear backwards, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's get started. For my background color, I need my purple that I'm using. So we start out with a slip knot, okay, and then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, starting out just like just regular corner to corner stitch. Okay. Now I'm going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then double crochet into the next chain, and double crochet into the next chain. And there's my first block. Okay, so on the chart, that's my first block. I'm going to zoom you up a little to see if this will help. There, okay. So that's my first block, so I'm going to mark through that, okay? And I'm going to start from the top, I'm going to go to the bottom, and then I'm going to turn the corner here, and now I'm going to go up because, like I said, we do it in a serpentine direction. Okay, so now this next row I need to make 2 squares. 1, 2. Okay, so here's my work. Okay, so I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Single crochet into the double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And then double crochet into the next chain, double crochet into the next chain. Okay, now I need to connect these 2 blocks together, so I'm going to flip this up like that, find the chain 3 that I did in this chain, which was our starting chain 3, starting part of the chain 6. And then I'm going to insert my hook from the front to the back into that, just into the loop, not into a particular stitch, into a loop between this chain 3 and the next double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to slip stitch into it, and that's going to connect my 2 squares together. Remember, on this row we needed to make 2 of these squares, so I'm going to now chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do 3 double crochet, into that, around that loop, that same loop that we slip stitched into. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's our, pull out more yarn here. That's our second square. So if you look on the chart, we just completed this row right here, this one and that one. See, we did 2. Okay, so now we're gonna turn the corner, and now we're gonna go down, and now we have to make 3 purple squares, right? Okay, so let me do that one with you. Okay, so now we're gonna, when we're increasing, we do the chain 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, double crochet the 4th chain from the hook. Okay, pulling out more yarn here. Okay, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into the next one. Okay, now we're going to flip this work up, okay, and then see how it's not connected to this piece, so we need to connect it by doing a slip stitch into that loop, or that space that was formed by the chain 3 and the double crochet, right there. You're going to slip stitch into it, okay, and now we're ready to make our, because remember this row's got 3 squares to it, so we made the first one, now we got to make 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets, and that will make your square. Okay, and then slip stitch into the top one, this one right there, to connect it. Okay, slip stitch. Oops. Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling out more yarn. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets, and that will complete our square for that diagonal row. Okay, so now we look at our chart, and we've done this one, and this one. So we've done 3, right? Okay, so now we're gonna turn the corner, and now we're gonna go up this way. Okay, so just keep doing that. And then I will go ahead and let you do this row, and when you get up to the top of this row, okay, where this 19 is, when you're gonna come up to the top of this row. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's start this over. Okay, so you're gonna keep going here. You're going up this chart right there, and when you get to the top, you're gonna turn, and then you're gonna go back down this way, right? Okay, so when you get up to the top of this one, so you're gonna do 4 squares up of the purple. We're still doing the background color, okay? And then I will meet you up at the top after you do these 4 squares right there, okay? Okay, so I just finished this row, so I need to mark it off with my chart. We went up this direction right here, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4 squares of the purple. Well, in my case it's purple, so we did 4 squares of the background color, and now we're up to turn the corner, and now we're going to go back down, okay? And so now I'm right there at that point. So if I look on my piece, you see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, okay? So that's the ones I just did, and that's the one I marked on the chart to show you. Okay, so now we're going to turn the corner, and then now we're going to start adding in a second color. As you see when you read the chart, okay, when you read the chart, we're going to have 1 purple, and then 1, 2, 3 browns, and then 1 more purple, and then that'll complete that row. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so we need 1 purple, okay, and we're going up to start a new row. So we're still making this piece right here, we're still making it bigger. So we need to chain up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. Yarn over and double crochet the 4th chain from the hook, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into the next chain, okay, and then turn our work up so we can connect it to this square. It's like stair steps, so you want to connect it to this step with a slip stitch, okay? And now we're ready to go on, okay? So we did the 1 purple right here. Okay, so now see, I made a mistake here because I connected it, and we're about to change color. We need to change to the brown. So let me pull out that slip stitch. Oops, pull that slip stitch out. Okay, put our loop, put our hook back in the loop. Now we're not going to slip stitch. I mean, we are going to slip stitch, but we're not going to pick up the purple. We need to add our next color. So I'm going to let go of my purple, move it over to the side here, but it's still connected. Okay, now I'm going to add in my brown. Okay, so I take a loop of the brown and pull it up from the back, and I'm going to do my slip stitch and go through that purple. Okay, now I want to hold it. I like to kind of pinch it there at the base, and then I take my purple and I'm going to pull it just to snug it up in the back. Okay, and now I'm going to continue on with my brown. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then when I'm working, I want to work over that straggler back there of the brown. Okay, so 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Okay, so that makes our first brown square. So you remember on the chart we need 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we need to do 2 more. So we need to connect it to that stair step, okay, with a slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to do our second block, second brown block. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to insert the hook into that same space and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to insert the hook, and we're going to do it again. We're going to connect to the next step up and do another block. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have our 3 brown squares. So if you look on your chart, we're going to mark out this one and this one and this one. We did our 3 brown squares. Now we need 1 purple one right there to complete that row. Now, about that, our work is connected over here, the purple, okay, the background color, and we need to keep it over here because see, whoops, sorry. See, we're still needing some, we're going to have the background color on that side, but we're also going to be working with it over here. So I got another bobbin ready, okay, of the same purple, and I'm going to connect that and use that for the purple that's going to be worked on this side, okay. So let go of my brown, and I'll take my purple, and then I'm going to connect it. Okay, so insert my hook, and then I pick up the loop of the background color, pull that through, and then through the brown loop to do a slip stitch. I pinch it to get a hold of it, and then I take the brown and I just snug it up in the back, and then I continue with the purple. So chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Let me pull out more yarn there. Okay, so now, as you see, we have done 1 purple, 3 browns, and 1 purple. So on our chart, we did 1 purple, 3 browns, and then we did this right here, this purple. Okay, so now we're going to turn and come back up. Now we're going to go up the row, okay? So in this row, we're going to need 1 purple, and then now we need an orange to get the first part of his foot. See that? So we're going to use our orange. We're going to join the orange in. Let me zoom you out a little bit. I think I've got you too far there. We're going to connect the orange when we get to that point, and then we still need the brown, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3 squares of the brown, and then we're going to do 1 square of the purple up at the top. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we need 1 purple. Okay, so we want to keep this straight edge here, so we're working up that direction. So we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and then now we're going to yarn over, double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then double crochet in the next one, next chain, and then double crochet in the next chain. Okay, now we're going to turn this work up, and see now that we have several strands connected of our yarns that we're working with, so I want to go ahead and move those around a little bit so then they'll be in the right position for when we're going to connect. Actually, I just had to move that one. Okay, so now I turned my work up. We have to connect this square to that stair step there, okay? Okay, but we already need to change a color, because if you look on the chart, we did this 1 purple right there. okay? But then now the next square is the orange one. So we need to get our orange and connect. So we don't want to slip stitch with this, okay? We'll move that bobbin over to the side. Okay, this brown one is going to come into play in just a minute, so we need to make sure it's in the right place. Whoop. Sorry, it just moved everything around. Okay. Okay, so now we need to add in our orange. Now this chart does have more colors. You're going to have more bobbins attached, but it's not going to be that bad. I mean, you're right in the middle where we're going to have quite a few bobbins attached, but the patches of color that you're using, it's just a few squares, and then when you get past them, then you cut those, and then you don't have that bobbin you have to worry about, or yarn ball. Okay, so just keep going by the chart, and when you turn your work, sometimes you have to straighten out the yarn balls or bobbins, but besides that, it's really not that hard. Once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad managing them. Okay, so I picked up my orange yarn and I did a slip stitch, okay, to the hook that was on the loop that was on the hook, and now I'm going to snug up the purple a little bit, and then I'm going to continue on with the orange. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to make this orange square, working over the straggler in the back. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, okay? And we just need 1 orange right here on our chart. So we just needed that 1 right there. So the next thing we're going to do is 1, 2, 3 brown ones, okay? So we drop the orange, move that over to the side. Now we pick up our brown, and we're going to slip stitch, picking up the brown, okay? So we want to make sure the brown is in the back between the orange block and the brown block that you're going to connect to. Make sure it's in back, toward the back. Put the hook, and the hook is in front of it, see? So you put the hook through that space between the chain 3 and the double crochet, and you're going to pull that yarn through for a slip stitch, okay, and connects it. And then you take your orange back here and you just snug it up a little bit before you go on. Okay, so now we're going to go on and make our brown squares. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to 3 double crochets in that same loop, or that same space. Okay, so we just made our first brown square, and on the chart it says we need to make 3 of them. Okay, so connect to this step up, okay, with the slip stitch, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then that's our second one. So we got to make 1 more. So now we got to connect this block up to this one by doing a slip stitch. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we look at our chart. We have done the 3 brown ones right there. So 1, 2, 3, and then now at the very top here we have to do 1 background color. Okay, so we drop our brown yarn. We pick up the purple one, because, well, in my case it's purple, the background color, okay, and then put it through those 2 squares, I mean between them, like that, because you want it toward the back, and then you insert your hook from the front into that loop to do your slip stitch, and you pick up the background color to complete the slip stitch. And then I like to snug on that brown one just a little bit or tug on it a little to tighten it up, and then I'd make my top square. So 1, 2, 3, 3 chains, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's that row. So let's look at our chart. We've gone up to here. Okay, now we're at the top. We're going to go up, and we're going to turn and go back down that direction. Okay, and now I'm going to let you work on your own again, and I want you'll be going down this direction, see? So you do 1 background color, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 brown ones, 1 orange one, and then 1 purple, okay? And then you'll be down here, and then you're going to turn and you're going to go back up going this way, okay? And then so here, when you get to this row going up, you're done with the orange. So then you can go ahead and cut that orange off. Just leave a tail so then you can weave it in, okay? And then when you get here, see, you have to, now you have to introduce the body color of the owl, or in my case, it's going to be the gold color, okay? And then go up there, just following the chart all the way up to the top, and okay, and then you'll be coming back down again where it says 23. You'll be coming back down, and then you're going to be going back up, and when you get to the right here where this 25 is, right here, it'll be one that we're going to be going down. I will meet you back there. So just pause and start here where it says 21 on my screen, my chart. And then keep doing the serpentine way. Once you get past the orange, you can cut that off, add in your yellow or your body color, and then keep going up the wing, okay? And then go back down. Wait, sorry. You're going to go down here, and then you're going to go up, and then you're going to go down, and then you're going to go up, okay? And then when you get up here to where that says 25, and we're going to be starting with this square, I will meet you back up there, okay?